Hi everybody, I just thought I'd share this jazz tone tip with you. This pertains mostly, I guess, to people using guitars with single coils like this T-style guitar I built, and Fender amps. I've got a Fender Blues Deluxe reissue, 40 watt tube amp with 12-inch speaker. With this amp and a lot of amps like it, and this guitar, I was missing volume on the bottom of the string. Sorry, on the bottom string. A couple things I did to try and fix that. I put these are just 10s on here, which is thin. For jazz, it's thin. So I put an 11 on the bottom here, and I also tilted the pickup some, so the treble side is closer to try and balance that out a bit. But I still found that that these middle strings here were too punchy or thick and rich, or whatever you want to call it, compared to this bottom string. I just lost a lot of power and volume on that one. And the same thing, I also changed the cap for the tone knob. I put in a smaller value cap to take off less of a smaller chunk of the treble frequencies, so it just takes off the upper frequencies. But still struggling with these kind of real nice sounding strings in the middle here, but a thinner top string. So, and if you go on the internet, most of the videos on YouTube say, you know, when you're adjusting amp tone, to start your tone controls at the top and adjust to taste, which doesn't really actually say all that much. But if it works, right? But I'm going to give you the opposite advice. When trying using this guitar and this type of amp, try cutting the treble and bass all the way down and pushing the mids all the way up. Just have that as your starting point. So what I have found with my on the neck pickup with volume and tone on full, I'll play you. So that's the kind of bass sound you get. I think maybe to have it perfectly balanced, if I was playing maybe solo jazz guitar, something like that, I might turn the bass up a little bit, but for right now, I think that's a pretty good balance. So if you like this tone, but you think maybe, okay, it's balanced, that's a good starting point, but it's too trebly. On most guitars, you can turn the volume down a touch, and that takes some of the treble sheen off, and obviously the tone control. So by doing that, this kind of gives us, it's a little bit low volume maybe. So that you can see all the way from the highest to the high notes, all the way down, you got a nice balance. So that's kind of where I wanted to have my starting point was. And the treble on the amp is all the way down now, so cutting any more is going to just be from the guitar. But that gives me a tone that I like, especially when the amp gets cooking and it's a live situation. So hopefully that is something that can help you for having kind of like overpowering middle and bass strings. That's something that you can try. If you would like some tips about how to play guitar, about how to play jazz, I've got a website called jazz-hack.com, the hyphen's important, where I teach about playing standards, playing the melodies, playing the chords, and improvising over them. So if you're interested in that, go check that out at jazz-hack.com. Thanks a lot.